The first time I heard it, I thought it was the city's power grid crying, a low, patient hum.
Yeah. I'm listening. Nothing's clean out here. Not the rain, not the streets, not me. But sometimes you walk into the dark, because that's where the truth hides.
The kind you don't notice until it stops. The kind that makes the streetlights flicker in rhythm, like they're blinking a message only the wet asphalt can read. People say the city never sleeps. That's a lie. The city sleeps all the time. It just dreams with its eyes open. And when it dreams, the stone underneath us sings. They told me pyramids were tombs, but tombs don't hum. Tombs don't power a skyline. Tombs don't keep a secret this expensive. If you're new here, you're stepping into a series of fragments, stories that look like myth until they start behaving like evidence. Tonight's file is simple: a city running on electricity it can't explain, and a machine made of stone, older than the oldest lie we tell ourselves. This is the case of the hum beneath limestone. There's a kind of person the world hates more than criminals. A person who ruins comfortable stories with measurements. I met him in a back room lit by one swinging bulb and a stubborn cigarette. A machinist by trade, engineer by curse. The type who hears a myth and asks, "Show me the tolerances." He slid a folder across the table as if it were contraband.
Everything I owe you is in there. Names, parts, dates. No copies.
You sure?
If I wasn't, I wouldn't be sliding it your way.
Then this never happened.
Never did.
Just diagrams, cross-sections, resonant chambers, channels carved with the confidence of someone who knew stone could be treated like metal. He didn't say magic. He didn't say aliens. He didn't say anything sensational. He said the most dangerous word in any city built on reputation: function. Then he looked me dead in the eye and whispered,
"People think old monuments were built to honor death. But what if they were built to defeat it?
Then this is more than history.
It's a war that never ended."
He opened the folder again and showed me the photographs. Smooth cuts in granite that looked wrong, not impossible, just too intentional. He traced a finger along a line drawn through a triangular silhouette. "A machine doesn't need your belief," he said. "It needs your ignorance."
Machine doesn't need your belief, it needs your ignorance.
The machinist had a phrase for the cuts in the stone. He called them confessions. Because hand tools leave personality, hesitation, error, and correction. But these surfaces looked like certainty. Clean, repeated, unemotional. I ran my fingers across one groove and felt the difference. Not roughness, precision. If you've ever worked with metal, you know the feeling. The part you cut isn't just material. It's a conversation between your intent and the world's resistance. That stone had been argued with by something that didn't get tired. And that's when the fear arrived. Quiet, adult, undeniable. Not fear of monsters, fear of competence. Because if someone could shape stone like that, they could shape anything. They could shape architecture. They could shape infrastructure. They could shape a city. They could shape the story we live inside and call it normal. The puddle at my feet trembled again. And this time, the ripples formed a triangle inside a circle. A signature, like the machine was signing its name. Without letters. He told me where to listen. Not the museum, not the tourist route, not the polished story. He pointed to the oldest part of the city, the underground that gets renovated every decade. Nobody notices it's still the same. Follow the water, he said. Water always tells the truth. So I did. I followed it past rusted grates and condemned stairwells, past the kind of doors that don't have handles because they aren't meant to be opened. They're meant to be forgotten. And that's where I found it. Not a pyramid rising into the sky. A pyramid turned inside out. A triangular geometry embedded in the foundation like a tooth. The air down there felt charged like a storm, waiting for paperwork. And the hum wasn't random. It had a rhythm. It wasn't a sound. It was a pattern. I watched a puddle on the floor tremble, not from footsteps, from something deeper. The ripples formed shapes that looked like they had been rehearsed. Triangles, lattices, perfect rings. I remembered something I once saw in a science lab. Sound turning sand into geometry. But this wasn't sand. This was the city itself being rearranged by a note it had always known. That's when I saw him. A silhouette at first. Too flat, too dark, like a shadow that forgot it needed an owner. Then he peeled off the wall like wet paint, deciding it was tired of pretending. He was made of ink.
You shouldn't be here.
I should have run. But curiosity is a hunger that makes cowards into archaeologists.
What are you?
I'm what happens when the city remembers something it wasn't supposed to. I'm the witness.
He walked in a circle and the hum responded, like it recognized his footsteps.
You hear it, don't you?
I do.
Good. That means it's waking up.
The machinist's diagram started to make a terrible kind of sense. Stone chambers arranged like a throat, narrow channels like arteries, water moving through it like blood, carrying charge, carrying heat, carrying something else I didn't have language for. You don't need to call it magic for it to be real. You just need to admit that a machine can be built for more than one output. Electricity is one output. Attention can be another. Because the deeper I went, the stranger my thoughts became. Not crazier, sharper. Like a fog had lifted from the back of my mind, and I was noticing the seams in everything. Street signs felt like symbols. Billboards felt like instructions. Even my own memories felt edited. The ink witness watched me closely.
You following me again?
Most people walk around blind, not because they're stupid. Because the city runs best when nobody asks why the lights stay on.
That's it. Just a generator.
A generator. You make it sound so small.
I haven't seen you since the power went out.
I was there in the dark. I always am.
You said it feeds the grid.
It doesn't just power the grid. It powers the story.
Then let's see how it ends.
That's when I heard boots.
Boots.
They're coming.
Then I'm gone.
A flashlight beam cut through the stairwell like a knife searching for a throat. The ink witness vanished into the wall without a ripple. The machinist's warning returned to me. A machine doesn't need your belief.
Easy now.
It needs your ignorance.
Let the dark talk first.
You're in a restricted area. I got lost. People always get lost when they're close to something important, and important things have a way of staying quiet.
You're wet, Detective. I could get you a car,
take you home, or you can turn around right now. Some doors don't close once they're open.
That's generous. Almost sounds like concern.
Call it advice, call it a warning, either way it's free.
He offered me an out.
Whatever it was, it didn't need words to warn me.
I didn't win a fight. No gunshot heroics, no clean escape. I did what people like me always do when the truth is bigger than our arms. I turned it into a story. That's the oldest loophole in any system.
The ink witness appeared again beside my desk.
You're going to write it?
I'm going to leak it.
That's how it starts. Not with proof, with contagion.
What if it's dangerous?
Of course it's dangerous. So is waking up. Listen, the city's been trying to tell you all along.
And for the first time, I didn't just hear the hum. I heard the message inside it. A sentence made of frequency. A confession made of stone. The machine is real. And it's been running longer than your doubt.
They say evidence changes minds. That's another lie. Evidence only changes the minds of those already hungry. Most people don't want proof. They want permission. They want someone else to say it first. So they're not the crazy ones for feeling the hum under their feet. That's what the men with flashlights were protecting, not the machine, the permission structure. Because once people admit the past was more advanced than they were told, they start asking what else has been filed away, what else has been labeled myth, because it threatened a budget, a reputation, a doctrine, a monopoly. And once those questions start, they don't stop at pyramids. They move to medicine, to history, to consciousness. They move to the idea that reality is negotiable and that negotiation has been happening without them. That's why the ink witness exists. Not to scare you, to remind you. When the city remembers, it creates proof in the only language it trusts. A story. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If you discovered the city was powered by a secret old enough to rewrite history, would you expose it and risk what happens when everyone starts listening? Or would you keep the lights on and let the hum stay unnamed?
It doesn't just power the grid. It powers the story.